Hey everyone, happy Sunday afternoon. I'll be going to watch the Packers in a little bit. Might down the cheesehead, we'll see. Had a pretty good grid yesterday. In terms of it was no teams, so that's a lot of fun. Was playing around with the categories. I think I got a 36 when I did the rarity score, and I don't think I was able to beat that, but I know some of you did. So let's get into it. Let's see if we see some teams this time. And I'm just gonna go for time first, and away we go. All right. Let's see. Luis Castillo was a second baseman for the Twins. Um, I don't know. Oliva played right field, right? And Carl Pavano pitched. All right. Let's go Orlando Hudson and Justin Upton played right field, and Randy Johnson be a popular one. All right, Frank White seems pretty obvious. Disappeared there for a second. Let's see. Jermaine Dye, how about him? It's not coming up. There he is. And Zach Greinke. All right, I think I had a little delay there, but I was under 55 seconds with a rarity score of 84 on these three teams here. So I'm not doing any team matching. Um, Man, it's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna try to get as obscure people as I can with these three teams. This, of course, includes the Senators. I don't know why my mind went straight to Luis Castillo and not to, say, a Chuck Knobloch or Luis Reyes or even like Dozier. Went right to Castillo, who was, I guess I did mention him in my book when I talked about Prince Fielder's inside the park home run. He was in Minnesota at that point in time. Um, Pavano was an interesting one to just kind of go with. I guess my mind was in late aughts there, but I didn't go with Santana or Viola. Went straight to Carl Pavano. No surprise on these being pretty high. Those are probably the highest ones. Corbin Carroll, okay, I guess he beats out. We'll see what I play there. So Frank White was the highest. Yeah, Knobloch is the highest. Kirby Puckett highest for right field, which is interesting because he was mainly a center fielder, but he did play right field towards the end of his career. I would not have guessed Alex Gordon, and he was the highest pick, but he was mainly a left fielder after coming up as a third baseman. Alrighty then. Well, this is an interesting one because as I've said before, it's fun to if you can pick out a niche episode where a player played a position that they don't normally play, then that's a pretty good get. When the Brewers came up, I was at a game where Alcides Escobar had like been shuffled out to left field because Brewers were out of outfielders, and it was kind of a blowout. And I was amazed by a throw he made from the warning track home. It didn't get the runner, but it was still like, whoa, that was closer than it should have been. And so that moment, because I was there at the game, actually stuck with me. Um, but here, yeah, you let's see what we can do. Um, and see if we can come up with people who are at least somewhat obscure. Um, so I'm trying to think of like, I mean, you get Carew for a long time. Tom Herr got in there. Todd Walker played a lot of second base. Here I'm thinking like, I mean, go J Bell, um, Aaron Hill and Kelly Johnson were both mainstays at second base after Orlando Hudson. Craig Counsell will also work. I don't know about maybe Alex Cintron. He was mainly a shortstop, I think. Ooh, Junior Spivey. He sneaks about 2 seasons in there. And for right field, um, ooh, for right field, what do we think of Kareem Garcia? Takes 1%. Okay. Let's see here. I'm trying to think of outfielders who work. I don't know if it was Heine Manish or Goose Goslin. I don't know if they were left or right fielders. Um, then yeah, trying to think of what would be a good obscure pitcher to sneak in there. I'm gonna give the current pitching coach or a bullpen coach, I believe, of the Diamondbacks some love, Mike Fetters. 0.3. All right. For the Royals here, let's go with who's an obscure reliever you could go with. What about Mike McDougal? Also 0.3. So I'm not exactly setting the world on fire with these, but decent picks for the most part. Could be better though. Yeah, why did my mind go there? I know Tom Herr gets some time at second base. I mean, Spivey is a name that is racing to the forefront of my mind as being a pretty good one. Of course, Craig Counsell will also work. Let's see. And then Jose Offerman will work. Mark Reslonik will work. Whit Merrifield will work. That'll take a lot. Zobrist was on the World Series winning team. I wonder if Nori Aoki works over here. Who else has played right? Danny Tartabull, whose name I couldn't pronounce for a little while. He would be pretty good. What about a Keith Lockhart? Also 0.3. I don't think Junior Spivey's that rare. So Jay Bell was a shortstop when he first went to Arizona. He moved to second base. So who was the Diamondbacks' original second baseman in that inaugural 98 season? Garcia was definitely the right fielder. Um, Devon White was the center fielder. Matt Williams at third, Jay Bell at shortstop. Um, but I'm not putting together the second baseman. I'm not thinking of that. Um, yeah, maybe Spivey is a pretty good choice. 3%. Okay. Not as good as I thought. I'm trying to think of Senators. Like Joe Cronin was a shortstop. Was Mian? Felix Mian? Is he a second baseman, maybe? I actually don't know. I don't have any confidence that. I also don't have any confidence in what position Goslin or Manish play. They were traded for each other. I know Al Simmons was briefly with the Twins. You could throw Walter Johnson in there, but I think that'll be a fairly popular one. We could go with Steve Carlton. Let's see how he does. He goes 0.6. Okay. Bernanski, Josh Willingham, I think played right field, or maybe he played left field. Jason Kubel, one of them played left, one of them played right. I don't really remember that well. When Hunter was in center field, who was Strand Stewart would have been in left, but I'm not sure who would have been in right at that time. Todd Walker seems like a innocent enough pick. He goes sub one. And then yeah, for right field, Jeff Francoeur his way into right field. for a little bit there. No, Bianez was there, but I think he was more of a left field DH type. I think Damon actually might have played a little right field when Beltran moved him out of center. He would have mainly DH'd, I think. Um, and who else? Well, there's got to be more folks. Was Balboni? Did he? Nah, I think he was more of a first baseman. I'm not saying that with any confidence. It would very much surprise me if, well, no, not right field. Um, yeah, let's see how Frenchie does. 4%. That's too high. I should be able to get better than that. And then for right fielder, I don't know. Let's find out if I know Jimenez played there a while and was a corner outfielder of some kind. So never, huh? That's interesting. Let's play. Let's find that out. That's an interesting one to me. So Jimenez, oh, he did play a little right field, just not for the Senators. Look at that string. He's exclusively in left field for several years. One game in center, never right with the Senators. He does play right field a little bit with Detroit and ever so briefly with it's like Brooklyn and Pittsburgh. Apparently he works for the Red Sox. What about the guy who was traded for Goslin? Would he have worked? Also considered a left fielder. But yeah, he would have worked. He played at least a little bit in right field. So that was the horse I should have bet on. Oh well. That's a tricky one to only get 8 out of 9 on. But because look at all the options I had. I had 400 options and I picked one that didn't work. So oh well. That's a fun one. That's where the category will get you. So anyway, thanks a lot for playing and enjoy football if that's your thing. And we'll be back at tomorrow. Peace.